I do think that you should go with the short hair again.
Oh, I'm growing it out one last time to shave.
The whole head.
This is the last time because my birth mother has never seen me with like long hair. I've had it like
That's
5
fair.
times.
And then you can donate it.
And I'm like losing hair. So I'm like, this is the last time I can do it without starting to look like a crazy 90s like elementary school counselor.
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna own it. By the way, this was all just recorded.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we do this too. We do this all the time.
This is normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like you guys were just like really in a routine here. So this is normal.
This is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
He's like, wow.
You guys are actually friends.
that's what it was like. Oh shit.
Yeah.
We've known each other for 8 years.
Like the very end of 2007.
And you're still in a band together?
Multiple different things we've done.
Our first band is not together anymore, but the bassist, we're in a band with him again, so.
Yeah, I was telling Kim, it's funny because I'm like, this is basically Amore just without Sam.
Yep.
Poor
I don't know
Sam.
if you guys are glutton for punishment or y'all just love each other in a different way, but I love it. Okay, so I gotta ask, what is G.B.D?
What does it stand for? Tell me. Please.
Good band, damn it.
Good band.
I like that.
Gang Bang Day.
Giant baby dick.
Okay, it's one of
Good,
those.
bad, deplorable.
Oh, okay, it's one of those. It's just wide open.
You tell me. Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I'll tell you for real, but you have to keep it to yourself. Guitar, bass, drums.
Dang it, we ruined it.
Well, I wanted to let you in because you got to come up with more anyway. So that's an easy
I
one.
like that one. I just like greatest band, damn it. 2. Hey, what's up, going? Bonjour, famille. Bump Jonas here, and I'm chilling with Jesse and Kayla.
G.B.D. right here. Oh, he told me not to lean in, and I still did it.
They don't fucking listen.
I
But you
don't-
know what? They're a rock band. They're a rock band. So, did you expect them to listen? Anyway, we're here at Syke, y'all. We're about to have a sit down. Let's get started. All right. So, first of all, appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
G.B.D, greatest band. Damn it. Or good damn band. I don't know. We're gonna find out some different,
Well, that's the opposite. B first, not D.
So G.B.D.
G.B.D. every time.
G.B.D.
Good band, damn it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Good band, damn
It's
it.
up to everybody. Like, online, we don't even tell it on our website. You tell us, email us. So it's on our website if you want to tell us any of that.
So that's how you guys. That's the first Easter egg we're gonna start with. Is we need to come up with a fun way to say G.B.D. We're gonna tell them what the fuck it is, huh? How about that?
That's right.
I like that. That's rock and roll. I like
It
that.
is.
All right, so
It's punk rock, yo.
So I guess we're not gonna say who. Actually, we can. We can say who is G.B.D. What do you do and why?
I'll start this one. G.B.D. started with the drummer contacting myself. His name's David Walker. He also writes some of the riffs. He's not just a drummer. He organizes a lot of the songs as well. He contacted me, and that's how it started.
Okay.
And then I brought in the bassist because I knew that guy. I told you before, before this interview, I was like, he's just the unassuming genius bass player.
Okay.
And he's the quiet one, but he drops gold every now and again, either whether it's funny or if it's something we needed to hear.
Okay.
And we played instrumentally like 2019, and then COVID happens.
Right.
We had written like 15 songs. We did not have a vocalist.
Okay.
And so we had like a hiatus for a while. And when we came back together, her and I were working together. Kayla and I had a different group, and we still do, but we've been working on G.B.D. a bit more. And that's when she came in, and you kind of offered before you came in, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, why don't you pick it up from here?
Okay, so let's pick up the story from your chapter
I'm a
then.
vocalist. I'm classically trained. I actually used to sing opera and jazz. Grew up in church choir also. I've known Jesse for about 8 years. Our first band was Amore at Bellum, also a rock band. However, we have another group called Terrasol, which is a trip-hop, dark wave, electronic kind of duo where I do sing a lot more jazzier, kind of soulful, lo-fi vocals.
So you guys are blending genres.
Oh, yeah.
Not just in this particular band, but across the spectrum of your
Get
your
bored
music.
easily, so
Yeah, it's nice to have
keep it
that.
spicy.
Get bored.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So my next question was, how did y'all start? But we kind of got that already. So we kind of understand how you guys started, which really just started from your network of musicianship. You guys are in bands with each other and other people, and that just is your network in a sense. Okay.
Yeah, I will say this for one more time, is when she came in, she's only been with us for, what would you say, how long?
7 months?
No, because you were there last summer, so like beginning in May. It had to have been 10 months or something like that. Not even a year.
So yeah, right. So under a year as the vocalist for G.B.D.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. But how long was G.B.D. around before you had a vocalist?
2019 till the moment she was there.
But then, okay, right.
So like what was
So
it,
at that
last
point,
year,
you were. I
2024.
wouldn't say you were instrumental band at that point. You didn't have a vocalist, right?
Right.
Okay, so here's the controversial question: were you really a band then if you didn't have a vocalist?
We were. I
Okay,
mean, not every
alright.
band needs to have shows and all that stuff. Some bands do it for fun. We weren't doing it for fun necessarily. We had a prerogative to want to play shows.
Okay.
But after COVID, like we played one show in November in 2019, and we're like, this is the beginning. We have
Right.
our songs written. We had like 19 to choose from. Do a cool instrumental show. COVID. Everything dies. Our
Yeah.
venues die.
Yeah.
You know, the places we used to play aren't there anymore. Some bands broke up that we knew for so long.
Right.
And it's just,
right.
it's not just us. It was very hard for us to dip our toes back into the scene. And Kayla and I even started working together in the middle of that in 2021 on Terrasoul, and it was still kind of weird to try to get shows. Like, she would come by my place to write, and it'd be like a COVID outbreak, and we'd be like, I don't know if we can do it today.
Right. Like, what are we gonna do? How are we
Yeah.
gonna? How can you coordinate this and still feel safe in the midst of it? Right.
Right.
Wow. Okay. But and so I always like to give people their flowers, and I think I need to give y'all's a little bit early because, we'll probably come back to this, but I think what you're doing is really dope in a sense that you're providing not only yourself but others an outlet, right? You're showing perseverance in the midst of a lot of quote unquote bullshit, and you're very very strongly signifying to community efforts. You know what I mean? It's like I just
Absolutely.
that in just this little story, that's what I'm hearing, right? And so I just want to stop and give you guys your flowers for that. Okay, so this is gonna be a tough question. Outside of what the bands play, we're gonna have to reference multiple bands here. What's your genres of choice? Let's start with Kayla here.
If I just am picking songs to sing to, like on the way here, I actually was singing along to Leanne LaHavis. So that's very neo-soul, jazz.
Okay.
And I was also listening to Pustifer, which is prog rock.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love everything.
So you're across the board.
Across the board, from classical to jazz to rock to metal.
Okay.
Yeah, I love a choir,
Now, is
church
that,
music.
Is that almost a prerequisite to be, a vocalist or to be in a rock band?
I would.
To be
I wouldn't say that. I don't think I've met anyone. I've hardly met anyone. Let me say that who has that kind of extremely wide range of taste.
Okay.
Where it can just kind of blend in anywhere. And I think a lot of it has to do with that. I grew up in St. Louis, so very
okay.
diverse.
You almost don't have a
culture.
choice but to be diverse in
you
that
have
kind
to
of.
be able to just you want me to sing country, okay, or you want me to sing some Erykah Badu, okay, so.
Okay.
Just
And
kinda-
I've seen a couple of clips of y'all performing, and y'all do it's very rock in its base, but I hear little inflections. I'll get that right word. I'll get that word.
Inflection?
Right. Inflection. There it is.
Okay, I was guessing. I didn't.
No, it was a good one. Good guess. Good
Okay.
guess.
Nuances.
There we go. I was okay, there's
yeah.
some flow going on
Yeah.
here. Okay. I mean, that's why I was like, there's some multi-genreism happening. So I was like, I gotta ask that. Okay, so let's get to kind of the meat of things. Who plays what instruments?
What do you play?
I play my voice. I play the stage.
Oh,
She's a badass.
I
She's
play my body. I was also a competitive dancer growing up, so I do like to.
what is competitive dancing? Is that like the Dance Mom stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh. That was what I did growing
You
up.
had a Miss Abby?
Oh yeah. My mom was I was more like I had a tiger dad than a tiger mom. So I'm half Burmese. My dad is Burmese.
Okay.
So a lot of that very competitive Asian spirit. Like if you're gonna do something, you're gonna do. You're gonna be the best in the world, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, that's what I do. I do write all the vocals, all the
Okay,
vocal lines,
okay.
all the melodies. I write everything. That's
So singer, songwriter,
singer songwriter.
and then you are guitarist.
I am the guitarist. I am also a composer.
Maestro.
Okay.
Yeah, and the
Maestro.
drummer has pieces of that too.
Okay.
But I play the guitar. I write a lot of the like groundwork for stuff, and we kind of collaborate on how it's going to flow.
Okay.
So that's my main role. And I mean, I never came from a music background or anything like her. I came from small town Kansas, salt of the earth kind of people, you know? So no one played an instrument or anything. I had to do it on my own, and I'm adopted, so learning about my biological family just in the past year, they're musicians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a wild thing to learn about where it's like,
and yet here you are. So the universe works
yeah. and
somehow, right?
Always been a fan of every genre. Obviously, I like rock a lot, but
Okay.
you know, I really like hip hop, and I've worked with a lot of like Craig Smith, if you know him.
Yeah.
I've worked with him many times. We have a EP out called The Truth from Outer Space. It's streaming everywhere. It's fantastic. And so I've done a lot. I don't know about bands that I would say. If I were to say a band that influenced me, it'd be Primus.
Oh yeah.
I love Primus.
That says a
Very
lot.
circusy.
That says a lot.
Yeah, so I like Primus a lot. I don't necessarily like. I'm not funk. I'm not surf. I'm not metal. I'm not punk.
No, you're
I
all
want
of
it all.
that. Yeah, you're all in all of the above.
Yeah, I don't want to
Plus
pigeonhole.
something else. Okay.
And like other bands can obviously do that and do it better, like the single genre. But I don't want that. I want to hear what I want to hear, and so that's what I make.
I love that. That's so fucking rock. That's punk rock.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
very punk. And it
Yeah.
also is very hip hop to me because you just like, it's cool, that's cool, but I want to do something else with it. I want to do what I want to do with it. So, you know, for me, it's easy to say, oh, that's hip hop. But no, that's very punk rock. It's very like, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
gotta. We're gonna make you like us.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to
Ooh.
come in liking us right away. You're
Yeah.
gonna
But you'll
leave
leave
liking
with
us.
it.
Yeah.
Actually, you're gonna leave loving us. It's serious. I'm not even joking about that because we played shows and like ordering a drink at the bar. I don't know these people and they're talking about us.
Your energy is infectious. It is. It is. It is. It's not just a smile, too. It's just like you just start talking like, yeah, sir, whatever you want, let's go. Let's go. But okay, hold on. Let's keep going. I'll get me real quickly here, guys. How did y'all discover your talents? You know, like, did you just like start singing a lullaby back with your mom and they're like, oh my God.
Well,
you can
yes,
sing?
they noticed at a very young age I had talent. I started classical voice lessons when I was 7.
Oh, wow.
My mom was actually a professional flautist when I was young.
A flautist is the.
Yes, she
okay.
played flute
Okay.
in orchestras. So I actually got to grow up like in pit orchestras.
You didn't have a choice.
No, I didn't have a choice.
It was gonna happen.
They're like, oh, you have the talent, you're getting the training, and
You're gonna do it.
I've been
Yeah.
performing pretty much my entire life.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Like talented mom, tiger dad,
Yep.
natural talent. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Okay. So, wow. So at that was you. So I guess really then, and we're gonna get to you. I want to know how you discover your talents. But then for you, it's kind of pretty early on. The way we flip that question for you then is how or when did you figure out like you enjoyed it and you wanted to share it with the world? You know, maybe
I've
you didn't
always
have it.
known.
Okay, you were
Yeah.
always with it.
Yeah, because it's like there are videos of me when I was 6 and 7 years old when I first started, and I'm on stage, and I just clearly love it.
Okay,
Like I'm
okay.
very happy to be there.
So
I'm
they didn't force you too much.
no, not too much.
Just a little.
Yeah, and I was like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, you know.
Her daughter's, it's rubbing off on her. Like
Yeah.
if you,
Right,
if
it's
you
not-
met her
it's
daughter, oh my goodness.
They're
It's-
all just like,
Yep.
oh, she's a star already.
Yeah.
okay. So Jesse, right? I'm getting it right. I'm terrible with names, so I hope I got it right.
Jesse is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. G.B.D. G.B.D. No. So how
Please
did
call me
you?
G.B.D. Right?
How did, no. How did you discover your talents?
My brother James, growing up, he noticed that I was playing with the music toys the most, and he'd go get my parents. He's 3 years older than me, and he'd go get my parents and look, Jesse made a song on that little bell toy thing. And I'd be like 3 years old, 4 years old. And he's always brought that up where he's like, I know you were going to play music. Like nobody around you was doing anything musical other than, the regular old stuff where your parents like music. They're playing it out loud. I've heard all sorts of cool music from Heart, Prince, Deep Purple, Olivia Newton-John, like all the stuff that they grew up with or liked, I grew up with and liked. They had a jukebox. It's awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's fire.
Yeah, so as I grew older...
Did you have to pay for it? Like, you had to put quarters in it? Like,
No.
okay.
No,
Like,
we make it
I hope
free.
they rigged it.
It's only when
Okay.
people come over. That's a lie. Gotta make quarters sometime.
You got
But
us.
then, growing older into my teenage years, it was just, I liked music. I was obsessive with music. I started with drums. I had a whole drum kit. And then I played bass for like 9 months and I realized like, this is, sorry bassists, but I was like, this is too easy. And I know, it's not. I get it. Like I said before, Primus, right?
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But back then, it was like 2002. I was like, I was listening to Blink 182, Deftones. That stuff was like very behind. Is in the pocket.
Right.
And so I was like, I want to write songs. So I got an SG. My parents went and got it for me.
Okay.
They were very supportive. They got me a Marshall amp, and from there I was just like, I met a band in a different town. It's never stopped since. I was 16 years old. Wrote an album with them. Wrote an album with Dimwit Syndicate, wrote an album with Sunflower State. It goes on. And for about 10 years, I released something every single year, album-wise.
Wow. Okay, see, I got to go back to the flowers. You guys collectively have continued to show that, like, okay, this is about not only expressing, like let's get out there and express ourselves. Let's get out there and show what we can do and make that a positivity point, but also, like, how do we work within our community and how do we make our community work with us, right? I just, there's a strong angle for y'all with that, and I appreciate that. It really shines through. So I just, we got to sprinkle a little salt on that. Okay, so this is for me is a personal question that my wife and I go back and forth with. So I'm hip hop, she's a rock girl. That's where we come from, right? I love rock, I love all kinds of music. One thing I notice is that some of the rock bands, most of the rock bands have the most irreverent names. Like they don't, I don't want to be disrespectful, they just don't make any fucking sense.
Right.
So I'm talking to a rock band or,
Right.
Two parts of a 4-part band, right? I get where y'all got your name, G.B.D. Good band, damn it. That's my vote. That's my vote.
Like we said before, it's up to you guys.
You know what I mean?
Tell us. Yeah.
No, but that is a dope ass angle. But most bands, I just like how do the names? Where do we get these names from? Okay,
That's a good question because like Terrasol, what were we doing when we were trying to name that group?
I do try to put a lot of meaning behind not just my lyrics, but also the name that I pick. So Terrasol is like soul of the earth.
Okay, yeah, I see. I hear land, soul.
And that's
okay.
very important to me.
Okay.
I'm a huge advocate for environmentalism,
Okay.
sustainability, the planet. It does
there's
speak
that community
if you,
shit again, y'all.
If you listen, it speaks to you. It tells you when it's hurt,
Yeah.
but most people don't listen. So that's really my angle. And with G.B.D, I didn't really pick the name, but like Terrasol, I picked the name, and then the name of our first group was Amore et Bellum, which means love and war. And
Okay.
and I wrote a lot of music about like, love and angst and like heartbreak and things like
So
that.
it fits, it aligns. Okay,
Yeah.
so y'all are the outliers because most of the time these band names make no sense to me.
Oh, I've had nonsense band names.
He's like, I am not special. I'm
I
right
would
there with
say
it.
one of them was from a bartender, and I said it before, just really passingly. Dimwit Syndicate.
Yeah.
And I was always like, that was like in my early 20s. We weren't like the best band, but people still enjoyed us when we played at like Bottleneck and stuff like
How
that.
about Ask an Adult?
Ask an adult.
Ask an Adult came from my friend Bobby, who was the vocalist of a punk group I was in.
Okay.
Noisy punk group for 7 years. Look it up. Ask an Adult.
Ask an
It's
Adult.
wild.
I gotta check that out.
We have one album up on streaming everywhere, just like Amore. Amore has their album out there too. Always got to promote.
You've got a lot of work out there. You've got your discography is pretty
He's
pretty
prolific,
lengthy.
right?
Yeah, prolific.
Prolific,
That's a good way to
yes.
put it.
Prolific, right?
Wow. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
But that also speaks to the persistency. You guys are very persistent in like, hey, I clearly have a goal and even if I don't necessarily have the end goal in sight, I'm gonna keep marching towards that goal. Gonna keep going. So I got to commend y'all for that. Ooh, what does a band meal or dinner look like? Do you all eat together? Have you eaten together? What's it look like?
I have with the guys, but
Yeah.
she's still fairly new. I don't think we've ever had the chance to, busy
He and I
lives and
have-
whatnot.
He and I have
Yeah.
eaten together, and it's just like junk food.
It could be junk
comfort-
food, but we've
comfort
had
food.
like
Comfort food.
I thought we had Terrebonne once. That's not junk food. I don't know.
What is terrible?
Po' boys.
Oh, okay.
Good shit.
Comfort food.
Okay, yeah.
Lawrence,
man.
Kansas, go get it.
No, that's comfort
Yeah, and
food,
I'm
right?
from St. Louis, so I love po' boys.
Oh, so wait, St. Louis, that's the home of the Chinese food, right? Like the best Chinese food in the world, I heard.
I mean, I don't know about competing with Chi-Town, Chinatown.
Okay, all right.
saying that dim
We're
sum.
not gonna start no culture wars here. Hold on. Okay.
But it comes up from the Mississippi, from New Orleans. So we have a lot of Cajun food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of Cajun
that
food.
makes sense. The flavor rises.
Yeah.
How do y'all avoid LSS, lead singer syndrome?
Ooh,
Good question.
that's on you.
Yeah.
Is it though, or is it on you? No, I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
Let me speak about her. No.
kidding. No, I'm kidding. Okay, whoever wants to.
I would say I am not a typical lead singer as
Okay.
far as my personality goes. I have preferred anonymity throughout my life. And Jesse can speak to that. This is like the first band where I've really like unleashed on stage, where I've like actually like really unleashed on stage. And I love being a part of a team. I'm super big on community. That's what I do for a living. I'm always trying to build community, no matter what I'm doing, even if it's in a band. So
Okay.
like I just am a huge team player.
So this is probably a little different for you then, in a sense, where you're standing up front. How are you dealing with that?
I
Let's flip
have been
that.
standing up front for like most of my vocal career, just
Okay.
because they're like, oh wow, you're outstanding. So like they.
So you're used to that
I'm used to
then.
being featured, but I'm also classically trained, and so like in classical music, there's like a lot of reverence. There's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
stoicism where you just you're not to be outlandish or
Right.
to be super performative is a little bit taboo. Even
So has this become an outlet for you in some way?
absolutely super cathartic.
Okay,
experience.
okay.
I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen her perform for years and years, and
Yeah.
I told you before, like even at practice, I'd just be like, that was dope. Like whatever because we just hear it.
Yeah.
And then we have videos of her, on stage, and I just can't believe it. Like it's
Right.
not that I didn't think she had it. I didn't think she wanted that.
Especially when you're like, there it is, right? Boom.
Oh, at the
Okay.
bottleneck, we have a video online it's I won't even say much more, but she blows me away on that. It's a song called "From the Shadows" that we're
yeah.
doing, yeah, and it's
I
like
like
the
that
chorus
intro.
of it. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
That's gotta feel good when your bandmates are like, nah, dude, fucking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
How
you
could
want
you
your
not?
fans to love you, but it's a whole other thing when your people that are when your team loves you and wants you to
Yes,
fucking
I
like,
feed off of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think one of the
Yeah.
main things about being in a collaborative group in general, whether you're doing photography, running a studio, in a band, is you have to respect each other to an extent for sure, but we're all friends too. And that sounds so corny. We're not like Blink-182 where we're pretending to be friends and then we just all go our own direction.
Shots.
Hey, I still like them. And the drummer, Walker, they're both Daves. Our bassist name is David. Our drummer's
Dave.
Dave. So we call them by their last name. So Walker's the drummer.
I actually wrote a song called "My Name's Dave." We should do it.
My
don't
name is
think-
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll send it to you.
You
It's-
should.
it's
You
good
should.
stuff.
You know,
But,
you guys are funny. There's a lot of humor that runs through y'all's interaction, but I have a feeling that there's humor that runs through the music as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, when we're writing, the drummer and I we call it, well, we said it one time, but it's just stuck, it's business. We're talking business right now. So when we get into it a little bit, like we're passionate. Both of us are very passionate, and
Okay.
especially him. And I've only been working with him for 7 years, and I'm still like, he surprises me.
He's still letting you
by-
see another layer of passion.
Yeah, and I let him. I've never had a group that's so vocal about things like that. Things like band names, writing songs. I was so used to, having a lot of the say over that only because nobody else wrote stuff.
Right.
And when they did, it'd be like vocal lines.
Right.
Not like, here's the notes.
What is it? Okay. God, see, man, there's so much to learn with you all. I'm really enjoying this, right? So what is a vocal line versus notes? Because we're not just talking writing lyrics and forming them into a stanza and stuff like that. It's more like where it gets sung and how it gets sung and I'm going to do this part and you do this part. Is that?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I will say I have two instances, and like one of them was Soul, which is now called Circle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she just gave me a whole, 2.5, 3 minute vocal, the whole song.
I wrote it in Burmese, right?
Okay.
My dad is from Falam Chin, which
Okay.
means basket head. And because they carry baskets on their head up the mountainside.
So it's not funny. It's actually it's a real
My dad
reference.
has a
We can't speak
flathead.
to that either.
Oh
But
my God. Okay.
Yeah, so
The bars here are ridiculous. This is the metaphors. Oh, Lord.
It's written in traditional tribal style, so I wrote it with a hand drum and a cappella, just vocal line.
Oh, okay.
And so to write to it, first of all, to figure out what key it's even in, it was very difficult for an instrumentalist
Right.
to decode it if you're not super classically trained and
Right.
can just tell what key it is right when you hear it. I sent it to him and then he had to write from that.
and I don't
Very
play
not traditionally, right?
You guys get busy then.
Yeah.
I don't I'm there's one thing you should know about me when I talk about my music. It's one of the only things in my life that I'm 100% confident about. That I am absolutely I'm
You
good at what
wouldn't-
I do,
you
but I'm not going
wouldn't
to say I'm
know.
the greatest.
You wouldn't know. Because that came off bad.
I do already know.
It would right. See, it would seem like that confidence is in everything because it's so natural in the way that you speak about your music yourself in the band. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you wouldn't know that you may have insecurities in other places. So
Well,
job.
What I was going to say about soul is that I don't play chords. I don't like to come at it with C minor, okay, D minor, okay. I just I think I took it up past. Again, I'm not musically trained, so I say fret 12. I went up above that. I wanted some high pitch feeling to it because she's kind of on a lower register of voice. And from there, I just kept adding to it, and it is an amazing track. Not because of me, because of her. She wrote it, and it wouldn't be what it is without her.
What's this track called? Soul?
Circle.
Circle.
It's the same.
It started as Soul and became
It's
Circle.
about the human soul.
Oh.
And how it's everything returns to where it came from. We come from the stars, we return to the stars kind of idea.
Shit.
So
Circle.
yeah.
You got okay. All right, listen. You guys are so deep, and yet I mean, you know what I mean. There's just a lot going on here, man. I love this. I feel like an NPR reporter and shit right now. No. Okay, hold on. Who can roll a joint or blunt the fastest?
Me.
Damn, she responded the
That's
fastest.
true,
too.
though.
Okay. No hesitation. Who's the funny person of the band?
Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, you said I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely the manic one.
Who's all? I think I would agree with that.
Yes.
Okay, you do have a little manic energy there. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Who's always running late?
Always. Always.
We kind
It's
of,
me. Well, I am a mom.
yeah. So,
And I
it's,
have ADHD, so
it's kind of baked in. Kind of,
it's baked in.
there's a lot going.
Yep.
So, this is something I've always wanted to ask a band. And ultimately, my question is, how the hell do y'all write songs? And we've kind of gotten that through the scope of this here, right? But what is a jam session like? You know what I mean? Do you go in with the intent to practice songs that you've already gotten? You've already written them, so let's just jam and see how those work? Or is the intent to play a bunch of random chords and see if someone works with that and then it becomes a song?
Kind of both.
So in G.B.D. with the group, because we played instrumentally for a long time, I said Walker, he brought in 4 riffs, and so I had a few that would just go around it, and I use my audio recorder on my phone. So if I'm just sitting around watching TV, which is, I don't do a lot, but I sit around and I need some time off, I'll just plug and be like, oh man,
Like,
okay,
ooh,
that
I
sounds
like
good, and I'll go get my phone, and I don't even play through an amp, and I'll just be like, that's a cool riff, and then I'll
Okay.
hear something Walker did, and I'll be like, oh, dude, I got it. It's like, I know exactly what'll go with
Okay,
that.
so most of us were raised by TV or movies or something in some kind of way. There's some element that like, oh, that makes sense, the real world. So in my head, the reason why I asked this question is because I always see people, in my head, I envision someone.
That's my wife. Sorry, I didn't turn
I
off
was
my
like,
phone.
who let the animals in? I'm kidding. It's a safari. Oh, that was
That was R2D2.
Okay, my bad.
How dare
Wow,
you.
that was bad. No, but in my head, I always envision like, it's kind of the classic movie trope where the person has the guitar and they got the like, oh, that's a good one. And they jot it down. So I just it's not like that, but the way you described it is kind of like that, though, right?
It is kind of, there's many angles to it. There's not one way to do it.
Okay.
And at the same time, I've worked with hip hop, I've worked with country. It all kind of blends together in the songwriting process. Somebody's always going to have something they could bring in. Doesn't
Okay.
always work, but that's a constant. And then at the same time, yeah, we jam, but we don't jam to write. We jam to kind of feel what it's hard to put into words what that's like, because once you get into a groove, you're like, these are my guys.
Okay.
It feels like you have a relationship with two other people that's nothing like the other relationships you have with anyone else. And then when you get on it and you look at them and just you're jamming, you don't always go, that's a song. You're just
Right.
like, that was dope. That
Right,
was
right.
good.
Okay.
And then you move forward and like, yeah, we'll practice a few songs we already have, and then I'll be like, yo, I have a little
It builds
riff here.
connection.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so jamming isn't to write; it's really to connect, to just build that rapport of
Yeah, for
like,
us it is,
Here's
yeah.
our dance steps. This is how we do the okay.
And she's the same. Like, she doesn't have lyrics to every song, but when we play it, she'll jam to it with her vocals.
Yeah. Okay. So like, for you then as the vocalist, when they're jamming, and it's actually when y'all are jamming, right? We don't want to separate you out. That's not right. But if you don't have lyrics already in place, are you freestyling?
Yes.
Are you like
Yes,
humming
essentially.
along?
Essentially.
Okay.
Essentially. I mean, two of the songs that I wrote vocals to, we jammed. They jammed to. They played it once through, and then I said, okay, do it again. And then I just started singing on it. We recorded the video of us all jamming, and then I just basically wrote from that.
You started
jam.
transcribing from
Yes.
that, and it's like, okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
I told you, she's amazing.
So there.
Oh, thanks.
No, you guys. I mean, yes, but you guys are all amazing though, in the way that you guys are. Again, it's about the. I'm very heavy on community, and I'm very happy to like see that the way y'all approach this is about the familiar, the connectiveness, the community aspect of music.
And what matters most in my bands that I always try to stress is, like, I'm not the leader. I'm not saying I'm the leader, but I always just put it out there, because the most important thing is if you're happy, or if you wanted to jam today, if you didn't, like, just tell us. This is not something that I want to force upon you, or you should force upon me.
This is not a dictatorship.
We're friends first, and then we're bandmates.
Okay.
So I'm really about that. After every show and we're done, I hug every member
Oh,
before I
okay.
even break down my stuff.
Wow.
Because I love them, and I always want them to know it's about us, not about the reaction out there as much.
So, are you the heart of the band?
I would say yes.
Yeah, like there's a lot of emotional intelligence going on
Right.
with you, right?
Yeah.
And it seems
Without
like
Jesse, there'd be no band. So
it feels that. Well,
Yeah.
that was a little ham-handed. Sorry, like damn. Without Jesse, you guys are out of here. No,
Edit that out. Don't show the Daves.
hey, Dave and Daves, don't come after me.
They'll come after me, just like they always do.
So okay, I got a couple more questions here. I really appreciate y'all's time. This is the question I call. Ooh, actually, hold on. I want to do this other question. Feng shui. We call this one studio feng shui. For you all, whether it be a jam session or whether you're in a studio recording, what are some things that have to be in that studio or in that environment for it to feel like you had a good session? And what are some things that cannot be in that environment in order for you to feel like you had a good session?
That is an interesting question. What do you think? Do you have any ideas?
yes. So I would say that my answer is not physical.
Okay.
It is. I can adapt to pretty much. Okay, I do have something that's physical, cleanliness. I am big on cleanliness. I'm big on feeling like, okay, if there is chaos, at least it's a controlled chaos or an organized chaos.
Okay.
We kind of already perform in an organized chaos room.
Okay.
It's Walker's place. He has like horror movie posters around. The lights that are coming from behind him, they're like stage lights, but he put them on the floor. So
Okay.
we have a vibe, but it is definitely like it's his house. And
But it's
that's
an
his room.
organized, chaotic
It is-
vibe.
it is.
It's got some structure,
Right.
so you kind of know what's gonna happen. Okay.
I can function in entire chaos. I don't last as long.
Right. Probably not your best work, or
Yeah.
probably.
Sometimes it can be.
Oh,
It
okay.
depends on the chaos, right? I do love how the Mecca is set up. I'm really interested in trying that out and or organically fusing with other artists.
Mm-hmm.
That's very fun for me. It's exciting to think about.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And then also things that aren't physical that you can't really put your hands on that are important to me are vibes between people.
Right.
Do I feel like you have good intentions? Are you being genuine? Can I trust you?
Right. And those are real energies, even though they
Yeah.
are intangible. Right. They're real energies that people can manipulate or not. Right. You can give off that intent, or you can fake that intent. Right. And so.
That's why
good.
I was telling before, like I couldn't be in a group where I didn't like the people I was with.
Right.
Even to an extent. That's why it's like the way that we're politically aligned, socially aligned, Kayla and I, is just like, if we start talking, it's just like a vicious circle of like agreeing
Which
and then
that
getting...
happened earlier. You guys were going. I was like,
And put
do I even need
ourselves
to? Do I even need to be here?
like even the pop culture stuff we're into, like even though she shows me a lot and I'll show her some, we're into like a lot of the same stuff. And then the drummer and I, we kind of grew up with the same kind of music. And that's that kind of like screamo, pop punk, like some Jimmy Eat World, The Used.
Hey, babe, it's a real fucking phrase. we use that word. My wife's like,
Screamo?
that's not real. I'm like, okay.
Hey, it was a real thing on ultimateguitar.com, Wayback Machine. You got to look it up. But, Walker and I, that's how we connect is we have ideas like that. Like,
Okay.
oh, I can hear this band. That's what you're going for. So I can do this.
Okay.
Or I'll hear him doing like, he's such a good drummer. He's not just like he is Neil Peart without as many drums.
Ooh.
And that sounds like hyperbole or whatever, but it's true.
But the way
So-
he gets down. Okay.
yeah, guess what? I'm like, come see us and you will see. But he gets that. And then the bassist and I, we just worked together for 12 years. I don't even know what that is anymore. We just talk in our minds to each other.
It's very. I would say that the most intuitive relationship is between Jesse and the bassist or Dave.
Bass Dave.
Bass Dave, hey,
Bass Dave.
I
Bass
like
Dave,
that.
yeah,
You got
Bass
drummer Dave and Bass Dave.
They just have conversations and they're not even talking like with words. They're talking with their instruments. Yep. They don't like he can just look at him and play and then right away.
We're watching for that.
He's like a musical soulmate. I mean, not that the other people aren't, but I'm just telling you, I worked with him for 12 years, and we've never had a thing where it's like, nah, I don't like that riff, or we always make it work. He doesn't bring a lot, but when he does, it's always like, I wish I would have thought of that. That's a sweet riff.
He's a just incredible bassist.
All right, so Dave Bass is, or Bass Dave.
Bass
Dave. We're going to get that right. Bass Dave is a killer. Killer on the bass.
Yep.
All
So
right.
the feng shui part, we don't need anything. You were saying like
You
it's
guys
a
just
little-
need each other, it sounds like.
we need each other, and like
Yeah.
we like to set up in a certain way. But what's on the walls, what's on the floor, as long as it's not smelly,
Right.
or it looks
Yeah.
like drugs on every fucking
Yeah,
table.
like we
I
let
don't
y'all
need that.
bring the funk, not the floor. Right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
All right, so this is a question I call elevator pitch. So, and this might be tough for y'all because you have a really wide discography, wide ranging. If someone were to catch you on the street and they knew of you and you just wanted to give them a song or a project that give them an idea, an introduction to you, what song or project would that be?
I know off the top of my head with Her and I,
Go for it.
it'd be Take the House.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the
That's a
one.
good one. Classic.
Exactly.
Yeah. Classic
Wait.
song.
I think that's a
Classical or classic song?
classic us.
It's her song. She
Yeah.
wrote it and showed it to me, and then we made it into like a rock song. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, it's not like punk or anything, but I'll send you a copy of that too.
Take the
It's
house.
really
Please do.
cool stuff.
Please
It
do.
is flamenco inspired,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little spicy.
Okay.
I actually play flamenco guitar style over it.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm not just a vocalist.
Right. I was like, wait, you didn't mention that earlier.
She plays
What the-
bass too.
I
She
play
was in a
bass.
band and
I
plays
play
bass.
I play guitar. I play flute.
Well, no, we expect that because your mom's
Yeah,
a flautist.
mom made
so,
me.
you know,
Yeah.
flautist mom and a tiger dad. You're gonna play. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
So who pushed you into music? I mean, we know. I'm kind of jumping back, but I'm curious because you're a small town. You said right, and
Yeah.
So was it just
So
your
internal
brother?
drive.
Yeah, she said it. It's
It was
internal
yourself.
drive.
Okay, you pushed yourself.
Yeah, my parents growing up were always into it. I mean,
Okay.
they bought me a drum kit. What kind of parent, when your kid's 13, will buy you a drum kit to put in your basement next to the computer
Very
room
few.
where my mom plays solitaire all day? But I mean, this is when
Okay.
System of a Down was like, Toxicity was big, so I'm like
Oh,
playing
you're
along with that.
destroying. You're thrashing.
And they
yeah.
never once were like, it has to be from 5 to 7 or something. It'd just be like, whenever you want.
Okay. So really what we're looking at here is an example of nurturing environments in different ways, right?
Yeah.
You were pushed, but you were pushed into something that you were already naturally accustomed to anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you were promoted. Something that you wanted, you had an internal drive for. They didn't have to like, hey, go do this. They were just like, dude, what do you need in order to be good at what you want?
They were very supportive.
Okay.
They
Okay,
never
that's
funded
fire.
a band or anything like that, so don't get the wrong idea. We weren't trust fund kids or something like,
Yeah.
without these parents, we wouldn't be a band.
Right. No, you
But
had to
it's,
make it happen. But
yeah,
still,
it's small town people. They didn't like.
Just very loving.
I
yeah.
could tell they
And
didn't like the music, but they supported no matter what. I mean, when I was in 5th grade in like '98, they bought me Mechanical Animals by Marilyn Manson with the boobs on it. You know, the dope show.
Bro,
And
that does not sound small town.
I was Catholic, so
You know, okay.
that's how supportive
I
they
have
were.
to share. I'm being funny, but in my head, as you're talking about this, I'm like, God, that sounds very Christian of them. You know what I mean? But I was being funny and
They're-
facetious. But
They are
I
real
have to go.
Catholics in the sense that they practice what they preach.
Right, yeah.
They are not, I mean, I'm sorry, but they're not like a far right crazy person.
Right, right.
And they are very empathetic. They work in their community. And so that rubbed off on me. That's
Right.
where I got that.
Okay.
You know, the priest's house burned down. And guess what we did for about a whole summer is clean out the house, tried to make it right so we could sell it. And then they bought him a new house. And I mean, say what you want about priests, the Catholic Church, I get it. But that's what they do.
Right.
So it could have been for anybody. And
Yeah,
it's a small
yeah.
town. There's no homeless population or anything like unhoused population, all that stuff. So they do what they can, and they're good people. And so when they saw my passion for music, that's when they started being like, you want a CD? Like, Tupac's Greatest Hits came out, you know, with Changes. And I was just a kid, and Tupac has hit him up. And they know that song because of my older brother. And that song's nasty. Like, it is, I mean, it's a great song. I love that. I mean, diss tracks are great. But, yeah, they let me buy that double CD. And, I mean, Tupac, I mean,
Shout out.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to your folks, man. Shout out to small town parents like his, man. We love it. Okay. Actually, this is the point where we got to pay some bills, y'all. This is our sponsor question section. We only got a couple today. First one is for Thrax Pastry. Nothing for sale here, just a suggestion of where you can spend some time. Whether you like it or not, you'll probably enjoy the journey. Make sure you tap in. So this question is super simple. What is your go-to comfort food? You're coming home off tour, long day at the studio, really, really good jam session. Doesn't matter. What's that food? You can make it, buy it, doesn't matter. That just, I feel good. I feel whole.
You first?
Rice.
That was easy. Okay.
Rice, Korean food, Burmese food, anything Southeastern Asian. I am happy. Pho.
What the fuck you mean? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We like bad jokes around here.
Got them all. For me, again, grew up salt of the earth, small town. I love green bean casserole. I can eat the whole thing.
Green bean casserole.
You know what it is,
no,
right? Yeah,
I'm just shook. I don't hear that except for at the holidays. So just like,
My wife and I will make it randomly.
no shit.
Yeah, and I know it is very holiday-esque by
It
all
is.
means.
No,
But it's
that's
so-
fire
it's-
though. That's fire. I
it's-
love it.
comforting.
Okay.
And it'll put your ass on the couch all day afterwards. So it's
yes,
great
it
to
does.
come home from a show or a long trip and have that.
Just get loaded up. And
Just get loaded up.
All right, and get that couch. I like that. Green bean casserole. Okay, so we need some pho and green bean casserole on the rider for y'all. Like when you start going on national tours and shit. Yeah,
That'd be so random. I love that.
That needs to be in the green room.
What's going to be the drink, though? On top of all that.
Well, we got to ask one of the Daves. We'll leave that up to bass Dave.
We got to make them a part of this somehow.
Drummer Dave has got to pick the drink. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Drummer Dave.
It'll be alcoholic.
Okay. So this question actually comes from a past sponsor, the Goonies. Local producer team here in KC. If you're looking for instrumentals, you're looking for soundtracks, if you're just looking to sound good, they can hook you up. They got the beats. They got the beats. They got the beats. This question.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to finish.
Yeah. He gets it. I like this guy.
I was late though.
No, you're right on time. You just weren't in the pocket, right? All right.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
With this one, what makes a good villain? What makes a good bad guy?
You love to hate them.
You love to hate them, meaning you want to hate them.
Yeah.
You want to see them do something so you can hate them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You love to hate them.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
I think she got a couple bad guys in mind on that one already. Said that very confidently. Okay. The last one is actually from a previous sponsor by the name of Pigwitch. Right in the heart of the River Market.
Pigwitch.
They have off-menu specials listed right there on the sign. You don't need to do anything special, nothing quirky or cute. Just go up and ask them, hey, I want that off-menu item listed right there. My question to you all, as a band, guys have been on tour, you've been at a bunch of different places, you performed at Hole in the Walls, I'm sure. When you see a place that has an off-menu sign or just something, you kind of know that there's an off-menu special, what's your way of asking for that off-menu item? How do you go up and be slick about it?
So are you saying like at the venues, the small hole-in-the-wall places? There's a place downtown called The Brick.
Okay.
And they serve, Kansas City, downtown metro area. It's called The Brick. They have a full stage, and then it's like a diner otherwise. But it's very unique, and they have always the specials on the side. And if you ask them as a band, they will give you one meal per member. But they've never offered it if we don't ask. Sorry, Brick, I don't mean to expose this, but
We might have to edit that.
no, you can keep it in. I trust them. Cherry Pyro is who books us there and everything, so she's cool. And go buy their food. It is legitimately good. And
So how
their
do you
bands are awesome.
okay, so as a band member, how do you go up and be like, hey, can I get the free meal?
Exactly.
Oh, I just did it for you.
That is it. You have to be bold. You can't
Be confident.
Yeah, there it is.
can't tippy toe around what you want.
Ooh, shit. Come on, y'all. Who knew a commercial question would turn into a gym? I like that. All right, so a couple more questions. Number one, how do you prepare for a show? Like, how do you get ready? How do you psych yourself up? And, the logistics are out the way, right? But how do you get the mental ready to get up there and kill the stage?
For me, I don't like drinking a lot, smoking a lot, anything like that before a show. Maybe right beforehand so I can have my drink on stage. And I don't like to be too social with people. It feels very distracting, so I'll kind of hang out on my own and pop in and out of conversation, but I like kind of quiet, prepare.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just part of my personality, I guess. What about you?
I would say that I also I am generally a sober person now, actually. I use cannabis once in a while, but I don't drink alcohol at all.
Okay.
I don't mind using cannabis before a show.
Just a little toast
Just
to
a
get
little bit.
right. Okay.
And I actually enjoy connecting with people.
Okay.
Connecting with the audience, other band members, and the other performers, like other bands or like other
So
solo
you're
artists.
You're out there mingling and kind of.
Yes, I enjoy mingling.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're chilling in the cuts, getting your feng shui together, and you're out there like, all right, let's get ready because you're gonna be
energizes me.
yeah,
Yeah.
because as the lead singer, you're about to be interacting with that energy anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, I like that. I see how that goes. Worst show so far.
We can't say.
Okay,
We can't say.
we'll move on.
But it's there.
It's there. There has been
it's
one.
there. Yeah.
The reaction that y'all had, that was
We're in
a really,
agreement, too.
it was
Yeah.
a really, really bad
We know.
show. That was like,
And you know what? It wasn't our performance. It wasn't the venue.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It was how it went.
It was
wasn't the crowd.
The crowd. It wasn't. It was.
So it's just a whole bunch of everything else.
We did play with other performers. Let's put it that
We'll
way.
leave it at that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have 3 more questions, and one of them is serious, one of them is tongue in cheek, and one of them is just the general question I ask everybody. Okay, just kind of getting the setup. Number 1, does rock and roll have an age limit?
No. Absolutely not.
It wouldn't be rock and roll if it.
Absolutely
had an
not,
age
yeah.
Okay.
I've seen elderly people online that just pick up a guitar like the past 2 years and they will shred, they'll punk. Like, they're not, you see an older person or a senior.
Morello now?
Too old. No, I'm just, I love Tom Morello.
Get him out of here. No, kid,
Love Tom Morello. Don't come at me. Rage Against the Machine, I think we were going to cover like a little piece of something of that too. Maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, yeah.
No, I like that. And I asked that seriously, not for you all, but for the other genres out there. I won't go into a soapbox now, but I think it's inappropriate that we put an age limit on so many other genres, whether it be pop or hip hop or any genre, when we can see a perfect example within rock and roll of how you can, like Ozzy Osbourne's 80 fucking something and just now retiring. So it can be done and it should be done. You know.
We'll learn if it's a Stanley situation with elder abuse afterwards, but
Ooh, good point.
yeah,
Ooh.
I love Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and I just feel like
There's something else there.
I feel like there's something else there. It's not Ozzy. Ozzy's great still. Oh man, I love the Osbournes too. That shit was awesome back then. It was like the original reality with Road Rules, and
that's another show a lot of us grew up on in one way or another. Is
Yeah.
some of the antics of Ozzy. So, okay. Now this one is tongue in cheek, but I'm asking a serious question though. Can a song really be written in 15 minutes?
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You said that very quickly. Okay. So, how?
You
does
all
that
agree on not a subject matter, but kind of, I would say, direction. Not genre, but direction. Like, we're going to do this, this, and this. All right. I usually look at the drummer first. And I'll be like, how do you feel about this? Or what do you hear? And he'll start playing. And it'll just be whatever he makes. And I'll find something, like from my audio little recorder thing. Sorry, I'm not going to just go off the top of my dome every time. I'll pick one of those riffs. And of course, unassuming bassist back there just starts to shred on it, and I'm like, okay,
Here we are.
Let's that's the verse.
Okay.
And so 15 minutes later, we may have an outline for this song. It's not done, but we can play like, here, this is the song. But it's not.
Tongue-in-cheek, yes.
Okay. No, and so a little bit of a soapbox here because I know that and I assume that. Well, no, that came off a little trite, but no, that's what I expect, right? The other end of it is people kind of have this notion that an entire hit record is written and recorded, produced in, 15 minutes or 2 hours, and it's like, just come on. Now, the creation of it, the reference, the outline, the skeleton, right? All the meat and potatoes are probably already put together, right? But there's still a lot more time that needs to be put into really scoping out the full.
Editing.
So I'll say, I do mix our music, I master it, I record it. You can't
That's
do it in 15
why
minutes.
she said maestro. Okay, I get
You
that
can't
now.
do it in 15 minutes. You can't do it in a day. And I'm talking a single song.
Correct.
And no one really understands why. Music engineers will get it. But it's just like, it's the perfect mix, sure, but it's just where you just stop. Like, I think it can get better, but I've already worked on this for 160 hours. I'm going to let this one go. And if somebody tells me they want to hear this more, I'll take that into
Because
consideration.
you're getting close to the threshold of fucking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
you chipped at it
It's
so
always
much.
my guitar, too. It's like, your guitar's too loud. And I'll be like, well, I'm the guitarist mixing the music. Like, what do you expect?
How are they gonna hear me, y'all?
But, I mean, it takes a long time to produce a record. It takes a long time to mix it. Even the, mainstream artists, I like watching Lorde make her newish album. It was really interesting in how she laid down her vocals, because when you think about, any vocals, any rhymes, anything like that, you see it as them doing one single take, and that's not what it is. It's not that they're bad at it either. It's just the best take.
Yeah, that's the
So-
logistics of recording. It's
Yeah,
just what it
I mean,
is.
when you listen to a hip hop record, sometimes you don't hear them breathe. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's called punch-ins and editing and
Yeah.
I will say
redos.
I have written entire vocal like pieces. Like I can think of a specific song in G.B.D. called "The Hunt for Gold,"
Okay.
which is about a Spanish pirate who comes to America looking for gold and gets scurvy and dies. And but I wrote
This shit sounds like a whole story, like a show. Like these should be movies or something. I love
yeah
this. Okay.
yeah, very thematic.
Yeah.
I would love to have our music featured in a
Like a movie or
Yeah.
or a TV show or an ad. So
video game.
but those vocals, they played that song, right? I had heard it like once or twice before, and they started playing it. I laid down vocals for it, and then we recorded it on video, and I pretty much line for line just did the exact same thing.
Oh, shit,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
But that was just the vocal line for that one song,
Right.
You know, and it's not like, and that's maybe happened one other time,
Right.
You know, but for the most part, it's not.
There's a process.
Yeah, it's not going to just be magic, you know,
Yeah,
every time.
And that's kind of my point. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry for using y'all as a vehicle there. But just had to
I
address
love
it.
that.
All right, so here's my closing question. And again, I want to thank y'all for your flexibility on time. I want to thank you for your vulnerability and being here and being open and having a conversation with me. And I really want to thank you all for your energy and what you do as far as bringing rock and roll and your brand of rock and roll to the community. We need it and we love it. We need more
Thank
of
you
it.
so much for having us too, man.
Yeah,
This is a lot of fun.
That's all I want. That's all I want is for y'all to walk away having had fun and feeling like you had a
Hey,
conversation.
Bump, I'd do this again in no time.
Hey,
Trust
don't
me.
tell me that. What are you doing? Shit. No, but okay. So my closing question is really something I ask everyone. I ask them all the time. When it's all said and done, when the show is over, when the jam session is done, right? What is it you want the people to walk away with as far as the experience of G.B.D.?
Inspiration for whatever they feel too, because when I see something, even it's photography or art, that still inspires my music because it takes emotion, and I want to inspire people, make them feel better. I want people to come in and feel better, not necessarily like buy all my stuff, and that's great, you should. But still, if you don't, and you go and you leave and you feel better about things, or you just love that rock and roll show, that's all I care about.
Empowered.
Empowered.
For me, that's how I want you to feel. Empowered.
Inspired and empowered. You guys are like two sides of the same coin in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of been the theme since the start. Like, it's the same message, but from just a slightly different perspective.
That is a good way to put it.
Yeah. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for your time. With that, y'all, Bump Jonas here, and I just had a hell of a sit down here at Syke with none other than
Jesse.
And Kayla.
from G.B.D, a good band, damn it. But look, as I always say, love yourself like you try to love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week. Just be a dope individual. Y'all have a good one. Peace.